Well, welcome to We Are the Reeds podcast, real unfiltered conversations on God, family, and life. Through all the ups and downs of life, this podcast is all about walking with Jesus through it all. My name is Zachary Reed, and
I'm
you
Jasmine Reed.
and welcome back. This is actually part two of our relationship episodes that we're doing on We Are the Reeds podcast. And
Yeah.
so today we are going to talk about more about the accountability side of relationships, which I'm excited to talk about. And so let's just dive right in. The first question we're going to unpack today is who spoke into your relationship and how did you invite accountability? Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, who spoke into our relationship and how we invited accountability in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So we had some pastors in our life that we identified to speak into our relationship, identified through prayer, essentially at the end of the day. Um, those were the people that we had walking with us.
Yeah.
We had a pair of pastors walking with us towards the beginning. We had another pair of pastors that did all of our like premarital counseling, married us,
Yeah.
um, kind of followed up with us like after we got married. And then what was the second part?
And just how did you invite accountability in?
Sure, that's a great question. I think the easiest way that I personally invited accountability in is that I had someone that knew what was going on like every step of the way.
Yeah.
Like from the moment you asked me out, basically, like until we got married, and I mean, like even until now,
Yeah.
just I had someone that was that had the 411 on like everything that we were doing and everything that I was feeling, whether it was like good or bad, like the whole time, I think, um, was like the biggest part of, inviting accountability and like any doubts I had, any fears, any thoughts, concerns, I didn't see any flags, but like if there were any flags that there would have been, that would have been like what accountability looked like for me. What about for you?
Yeah, I had the same thing. Um, I think it worked out great because we really had two couples that we walked through or walked with through our entire dating, engagement, and like getting into marriage.
Yeah.
So like it was the same two couples the whole way through. It worked out really great because the husband of the first couple was someone who it's like the Lord ordained all of this. Like the first couple was really like our dating couple, like the couple that helped us walk through the dating season. And then the second couple really helped us walk through the engagement and marriage season.
Yeah.
And so, like, it worked out really great because we both prayed initially about both of those sets of couples. Like,
Mhm.
I can remember us being like, hey, we need accountability. We need people to walk with through these different seasons. And so we prayed and we both came into unity on who those couples were.
Yeah.
And then we had like formal conversations with them, I guess, really where we just like sat down like, hey, we want to walk with you. Here's how we want to walk with you. The first couple really challenged us in a good way, on making sure that we had a couple that we were fully submitted to as we were walking through the entire relationship. And so, as we prayed into that, that ended up being the couple that walked with us through premarital counseling and then through marriage. And like we've walked with that couple even just through
A lot
the
of
stuff
things.
that we've walked through earlier this year.
So, what would you say to someone who was wondering, like, what the difference is between having accountability and being submitted to someone? Like,
Yeah.
what
I
makes
think you have to have very clear boundaries around what that looks like. Like I can remember the pastors that we walked through with premarital counseling, even like the husband, I remember on our first conversation was like, all right, what does this look like? Like define for us what it is that you're asking, what it is that you're wanting to do, and how it's going to work. And so with the first couple, I can remember we had to have a couple of awkward conversations initially because we were trying to figure that out. Like they were asking us like, is that what you're looking for from us or what does that look like? And so we we had to define that and then submit it to those couples to make sure that we were all in unity with what we were looking to do. The first couple were really like friends that we wanted to walk with alongside the journey of us dating. And I feel like for me, the husband of that couple helped me with confidence, helped me with just all the things I was thinking about when we were stewarding our dating season. And that was so helpful for me. Like, I needed someone to be able to like bounce ideas off of, talk through things, um, and really just kind of like instill confidence in me, like as a fellow brother in Christ as we were
Hmm.
going through that season. And then the second couple, it was a totally different dynamic because honestly, we knew after we fasted that we were going to get married.
Yeah.
And so we started meeting with them and started going through premarital counseling, like even like a month before we got engaged. Cause I remember us submitting to them, like, hey, we know we're going to get married. Like,
Sure.
this is what's going to happen. I met with them separately and told them the whole 411 on just like, this is what the Lord said. This is
Mhm.
when we're going to get engaged. This was the date that the Lord said. And so they were in unity with walking with us through premarital counseling, like even just right before we had actually gotten engaged.
Yeah.
And so that was really helpful.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that someone can take away from understanding what Zachary's explaining, what I think that you're explaining is that like when you have accountability in your life, these are people that can speak into you, people that you're taking wisdom from, asking questions, that you're exposing things to as they come up. But when you're submitting your relationship to someone, you are inviting them into everything that is in the process. So if you would have went to the couple that went through premarital counseling with us that we decided to submit our relationship to
Mhm.
and said, this is when God said we should get engaged. This is when God said we should get married. This is when I sense that the Lord is saying to do this, like these milestones. And they would have said, well, we feel like we prayed and we feel like this is what the Lord is saying. Then it's like we're submitted. We would have been submitted to that timeline. If they would have come back and said, well, we feel like you should wait until this point, or we feel like you shouldn't get engaged until this point, that would have been the test of our submission of like,
Yes.
are you willing to come into unity with like the covering that you've asked us to extend toward you, to ensure that like your relationship is like the healthiest that it could be.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the difference between accountability and submission is that submission is you giving permission to someone else that can say no to you.
Yeah.
And then accountability is someone that is there to challenge you, check in with you, and make sure that you're being held accountable to the things that you said you were going to do.
It's really good.
And so we really had two sets of couples to kind of help us with both of those
Yeah.
things. And I think people can get really weird about submission. And I know like even just in the church, like submission is kind of like this dirty word. But for us, like submission is a beautiful thing. There's biblical examples of submission all throughout the Bible. And it's a beautiful thing when you can submit yourself underneath someone that can ultimately tell you no and like invite people in to the process of your journey that are also seeking God on your behalf.
Yeah.
And it's like this really cool thing that happens when they're encountering God and you're encountering God and you're submitting to each other the things that you're hearing, you come into unity. Like you seek the Holy Spirit's heart for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then you're submitting that to each other.
Yeah.
And so there's like this beautiful mutual submission process. And so I think with relationships, that is extremely important to have that accountability and those submitted relationships that are part of your journey,
Hmm.
so that you're operating in health and that you've got people that will challenge you and ask you the hard things that you're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
No, it was great.
So let's talk about what should someone be looking for in a partner?
What should someone look for in a partner for life? I think it's very simple. You need someone who serves the Lord, like genuinely, truly serves the Lord, loves the Lord with their whole heart,
Yeah.
that feels called by the Lord to do similar, same vein of things that you feel called to do. Someone that can make you laugh, like belly laugh, because life is hard,
Yeah.
like things in life will come no matter who you are. And having someone that you can laugh with is, I think, paramount, very important. Like someone who's going to be like truly your best friend through everything.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you should look for someone who's stable mentally, stable emotionally, like someone who's just like stable. They don't have to have it all together necessarily. Like they don't have to be at the place where they're going toward. They should be like stable where they're at. And I think the last thing is that you should look for someone who, if they never change, like if you married them tomorrow and they never changed, all of their quirks, all of their little things, all of their things that annoy you, all the things you love about them, if they never change the way that they looked, all the things, you'd be perfectly happy with like how they are. They never grew any more than they are right now. If they never anything, like, would you still love them? And I think being able to answer that is like super important.
Yeah. I think about like what's the fruit to their obedience is probably like the very first thing. Like, are they submitted? Are they someone who is like passionate and following the Lord? And is there fruit to their relationship with the Lord? Is like probably the number one thing. If you're seeing the fruit to someone's obedience, then you can trust that in hard times, they're going to be solid. Like they know that during hard times or when things get rough or whatever, that they have the character of someone who understands the true value of situations and things that are happening. So like they're the type of person that has the fruit that's showing now that they are depending on God means that they're going to have the same character in hard times
Yeah.
that they're depending on God.
Yeah.
And so, like, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you hear and obey God,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Such a great answer, honey. That's like way better than my answer was.
Whatever. No, your answer was really good too. We said the same thing, we just said them a little bit differently. And so, I think at the end of the day, we knew pretty early on that we were the right fit for each other because that was essentially the same type of thing that we were both looking for in a partner. And so when we identified that that was something we both valued, hearing and obeying God, it became really easy to know that like no matter what we would go through in life, we were going to be the same person at that point as
Mhm.
we would be in those hard situations.
Yeah.
Um, and having now walked through really hard situations together as a couple, like it's done nothing but validate that
Yeah.
through the whole process. And so I would say that's the number one thing that you should look for.
So good.
So,
So good.
so good. Let's talk about conflict and
Okay.
how we handle conflict early on.
Yeah.
I want to start it off though. That's cool.
Go for it.
So early on, we sat down and we put together a non negotiable list for conflict.
Yeah.
Things that were non negotiables for conflict.
Yeah. Non-negotiable means non-negotiable no matter what
Yeah.
all the time.
So these were things that we mutually agreed
People out there.
that we would never do ever.
Ever.
And so I'm going to just read off the list that we put together because I literally have the original list.
We both have the original list. Yeah, it's like an ancient tome.
I mean,
Ancient scroll.
I think
I have the original list.
yeah, because I it feels like we have been in a relationship for a really, really long
Listen, we lived
time
a lot of
because we've
lifetimes.
lived a lot of life together, but we really haven't been together that long. So anyway, this
Have
is
the
the
original text, my
original
account.
list. Number 1, no walking away. Number 2, no yelling, no divorce, no name calling, no blame game, no defensive body language. We correct in private, and no talking over each other.
Yeah.
I think that one was
Some of
yours.
those we had to add as we got into conflict.
We modified it along the way.
Yeah, which you have to do. You have to be okay with modifying your lists
Mm-hmm.
and your boundaries. We talked this
In the
about
first
this a little bit
episode.
the last episode about being flexible with your boundaries and things like that. But there are some things on this list that are like, well, they're all non-negotiables, but there are things that got added to the list because as we experience conflict, we realized, oh, that's not gonna fly
Like,
with me.
you can talk about one, I want to talk about one. Because I remember we were hanging out with friends one time, and you, like, corrected me in front of that couple.
Big deal.
And it, like, I got, like, upset about it.
Yeah.
Because it would just, like, really upset me. And so I remember having to have the hard conversation with you and being like, hey, I would prefer if you would bring correction in private.
Yeah.
And it, like, was a
The lesson on respect, ladies.
yeah, just a
Men
beautiful
men need
conversation.
respect.
And so we talked about that. And then you had the one for me about not talking over each other.
Yeah. Yeah, because we would like be talking about stuff. And to be fair, like I don't necessarily think that we fight
Yeah.
often. Like
I don't think we've ever
I
really
don't think
fought.
yeah, I don't think we've ever really had like a fight. We've had things we disagree on.
Yeah.
We've had passionate conversations, but
Yep.
when I say passionate, I mean like we're both very passionate people. So, sometimes we'll be talking like even at work, and people are like,
Are you okay?
like it's like a tennis match. They're like back and forth looking at us,
It's like, no, we're just very opinionated. We're both like are intense
and
people.
are really behind our believe in our
We're
opinions.
direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we would have these like conversations, and I felt like I couldn't say anything because you would just be like going and going and going. And I'd finally formulate a thought, and you'd be like
Yeah.
barreling down the thought, and I would be like, listen, you want me to communicate? You want me to talk to you? Then I need you to stop talking long enough for me to like think about it, get it out, and we can like keep going. But if you're gonna talk over me, then like I'm gonna shut down.
Something I learned just in our relationship is I can't ask for your opinion and not give you space to unpack it.
Yeah.
And I can't set up conversations in a way that where I'm like asking for your agreement. It's like I can't, and I do that a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't you like this?
Yeah. Very leading.
Yeah, like leading conversation. And so like I've learned to not do that. And honestly, like I love hearing your opinion. I love hearing your perspective because we both have different perspectives. And so rather than using leading language,
Yeah.
I'll just like ask questions now and we unpack them rather than just like trying to set it up. Like that's probably the biggest thing
But
I
I think
learned.
that that's like one of the beautiful things that like you realize once you like get into a relationship or like you get married. Like those are the kinds of things that they talk about where it's like they're like marriage refines you and like everything about you is on display. And I mean, arguably you should be like a decent person when you get married. So like if the things that are on display are like quirky things, not like these gross, like misconduct type of things. But those are the little things that like get refined when you get married because you don't realize that you're like that. Or like no one else in your life like cares enough about those behaviors to tell you.
Yeah.
Like not that they're necessarily like bad, but you get into a relationship and the other person's like, you do that a lot, and you're like, I don't do.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like I've never done that. What are you
offended.
talking about?
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, like okay, I gotta like
Really,
figure myself out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where like the refining I don't know why I'm doing it, like sandpaper, like you're
Yeah.
refining
Being rolled
the
in.
edges. It's good. All right. The last thing I think we should talk about is what is your advice to women? And then I'll give advice to men. And then we can close out.
Advice to women that like want to get married
I think just advice for men and women who, I mean, just on these
or
different things we've been
navigating.
talking about. Like we've been
Dating.
talking about accountability, we've been talking about submission, qualities in a godly partner.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, here's my advice for the women. Number one, you got to show yourself friendly. You can't walk around talking about how you wish you were in a relationship or how you want to get married and all the things, and you're not even like a friendly person. That's the first thing. Second piece of advice is give guys a chance.
mm,
You know, if someone wants to ask you out and they're not necessarily thought about, but their reputation precedes them, or you're not feeling the immediate red flag or whatever, like give it a yes. You're just going out the first time to see if you want to do it again. That's it. No pressure. Which leads to number three, which is chill out, calm down, relax. If you think that three men like you, but none of them are told you that they like you, they don't assume they don't like you.
yeah, that's good.
Don't be afraid to clear the air, communicate with men about their questionable intentions because you can't tell what's going on, or if you have feelings because they've presented themselves a certain way, like don't be afraid to clear the air and communicate about things, but don't be someone who is
Yeah.
pining or pursuing after a man. Then I would say the last thing would be like just let the Lord lead you. You know, get yourself around good people, strong community, be planted somewhere in the house of God. Have pastors, mentors in your life that you're accountable to. Have good girlfriends. Have good mothers, spiritual mothers, natural mother, sisters in the Lord, family that you know that you can spend time with. Spend time with people, spend time in relationship, learn how to compromise, learn how to be selfless, learn how to be generous, learn how to like be the best version of yourself that you can be, because that's the best gift that you could give your spouse is like the healthiest, purest version of you.
That's good, babe. I would say for the men, love the Lord,
Mhm.
pursue the Lord, be bold, like have courage, be bold. I would say be direct,
Yeah.
be clear with your intentions, and just honestly, just bring clarity everywhere that you go for everything that you're saying and lead. Like, don't cower back. Don't wait for something. Like, be bold, be courageous, lead, and love the Lord. And if you're putting the Lord above everything else, you'll have the clear direction and the roadmap and the path for everything else.
Yeah.
And I would agree with you. I think you have to have great relationships in your life. I would start surrounding yourself, if you're not in a relationship, with people who are in a relationship. Because if you're hanging around single people
Yeah.
and you're wanting to be married, or in a relationship,
Bad mindset.
you're not getting the advice that you need, and you're not able to pull on
Yeah.
the experience and wisdom from someone who
Yeah,
is.
when we say like in a relationship, we mean like married with like years in
Commitment.
a couple years in the game at least.
Commitment.
Not like little Johnny who's like 22 and has been married for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with little Johnny, but
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, we're not even experts. Like, we've only been
yeah,
married for a little over a year now.
yeah.
And
But we hang out with a
we're
lot
figuring it
of
out.
married couples when we were dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's good.
Mhm.
Well, we want to thank you guys for watching or listening to the second episode of We Are the Reeds podcast.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share with a friend. Let us know in the comments the top 3 qualities that you're looking for in a godly partner. Let us know that, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.